Hey everybody, welcome back to Critical Mass. This is game day. So we're going to do some debating. This is part 3 of 3. In the previous series of 3, Don was the winner. Right now, this will decide who wins this series. The way it works is we have 10 seconds to call out an answer. If you do not call out an answer, the judge or the opponent will give an answer for them to debate whether they agree with it or not. And so the first question, here we go. Listen carefully. Which actor or actress reached the highest degree of fame but also had the most drastic career collapse into obscurity?
Johnny Depp. Don's going with Chris Pratt.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, I thought of something. And he's arguing first.
I'm arguing first.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Chris Pratt jumped onto the screens in Guardians of the Galaxy. Everyone loved his character. He had done a body transformation from being the chubby guy on a TV show into the handsome guy, the new hero and everything. And then he came out with movies like Passengers, and then he came out with the second Jurassic World, and he has become box office crap now. People don't want to go see him in the movies. He's always the same character.
Stop. Mark.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
So Johnny Depp, since the 80s, has been a big ticket name. He has grown in with the Edward Scissorhands, and then he went on to doing the pirate movies, Pirates of the Caribbean. There's actually nothing that he hasn't done that he hasn't been a huge success in, but we haven't seen a lot from him in recent years. I think he's kind of just called it quits, like as far as doing anything that is worth watching.
Stop. Okay, rebuttal time. 3, 2, 1, go.
Johnny Depp is still a name. He has not dropped into obscurity. In fact, he's now on the Harry Potter movies. He's the villain in the new Harry Potter series. He has the spy novel that he's coming out with. He's done a lot of movies out there since Pirates of the Caribbean. Chris Pratt, however, his movie box office numbers, since except for Jurassic World, has gone into next to nothing. Passengers with Jennifer Lawrence made next to nothing. The Magnificent Seven dropped right off the face of the earth.
Okay. Mark.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
So let's be honest, the new Harry Potter series is not a huge box office hit. They'll make a couple of movies and it'll drop off into obscurity, just like, who am I arguing for? Johnny Depp. As far as Chris Pratt goes, I would say that he is still an A-list actor that people are fighting to get into their movies. Yeah, anything that he's in is kind of good. You want to go see it.
I just argued that his last movies didn't make any money, and now you're saying...
But you still want to see it, right?
No.
Okay, so...
Maybe I'm wrong.
So
And I like Chris Pratt.
From my perspective, I was waiting for you to say... I was waiting for you to
Say anything good?
To say why Johnny Depp lost so much, and he came out with movies like The Lone Ranger. Everybody complained that he was in the new Harry Potter, and nobody really wants to go see Johnny Depp anymore. In fact, can you name a movie that he's coming out with soon?
Well, no, that's what I was saying.
But you didn't say.
Well, I said the Harry Potter thing. No, it's not a huge buck. Nobody's interested.
And it did made almost $1 billion.
But nobody's interested. No.
And when you said
Yeah, but you didn't rebuttal it.
when you said Chris Pratt dropped off the face of the earth, well,
You're wrong.
He did an art house film called Passengers, yeah, but they all do
Art
that.
house.
Well, it was a very low-key film.
Two number one actors in the world at the time were in a space fantasy love story.
But most of the A-list actors during this period were doing those kind of films, and he just came off of Jurassic World 2, which made $1 billion. So it wasn't a great argument,
But it still won.
and
I didn't say that yet.
That's where he's going with it, though.
And I'd have to say that you won by default, because it was Mark's fault that he had the perfect answer and didn't follow through on it. I completely agree with you. When you said Johnny Depp, I said that is the perfect answer.
I didn't choose Chris Pratt. It was given to me. But I still won.
So technically,
I still won.
I won.
You lost double.
Not only did he give me the right answer,
I think that I did say the point
you were stuck
that
on
you said
Chris.
that I didn't say. I think I did go there, and you're not taking it into account.
I would like to give you guys a tie,
See,
but you had such a guaranteed win and didn't follow through on it that I'll have
all
to
you
give
had to
one.
say is, yeah, he was cast in the new Harry Potter movies, but everyone was upset that he was cast in the new Harry Potter movie. That's all you had to say.
Okay, so question number 2.
Here we go.
All right, let's do it.
What was the greatest movie of all time, helmed by one or more child stars?
Sixth Sense.
Child stars? The Goonies.
Oh, I like that one.
Okay, you have a choice. Go first or second.
He got the. He said Sixth
Oh,
Sense.
okay. First or second?
Second.
Sorry, I want to give it to you because your answer was better.
Second.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
The Goonies was my generation's childhood movie. It was an adventure with a whole group of kids. Everybody had their own character, everybody had their own plot of the story. They went into looking for treasure stings. They had Goblin in this movie. Are you making fun of me? Like, you still remember that your father used to make fun of me for loving that movie so much.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
I'm not sure what I'm going to say for 30 seconds about this movie, but it did have a child in it, and the movie was great. It had one of the biggest plot twists of all time that cannot ever be duplicated. No, you can't use that. Everybody sees it. Anyway, and so I think it was played off very, very well.
Okay, I see where this is going.
The Goonies is such a good answer.
3, 2, 1.
Trouble with The Sixth Sense is it's not really a movie about kids. It's about Bruce Willis more than it is about the kid. The kid is the plot point of the movie. Bruce Willis is the star of the movie. It's not about the kid. It's about Bruce Willis being dead.
Is he though?
It is. It's completely about him. And there were plot twists well before this. Not the same plot twist, but I mean, The Crying Game was held as the biggest plot twist of all time before this one came out.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
So, I would argue that it was. I mean, Bruce Willis was in this movie, but it was Haley Joel Osment, was that her name? Yeah, that carried this movie and did such a good job in delivering to you the biggest, what I think is the biggest plot twist of all time. I think this took everybody by storm when it came out. Sure it did. You didn't know what was going on.
I actually did.
No,
I did. I have
He's
witnesses.
All right.
It's not a kid's movie.
Okay, so
it is a kid. It is.
this is really difficult for me because I'm gonna call an upset here, and I'm gonna give it to Mark.
He's giving it to Mark, so I don't win the series.
No, because not only did you say you said the child actor's name,
Yes.
which you did not. You did not say any of the child actor's name. What you basically did was you said this was a great movie because it had these different elements in it, and lots of movies have those different elements in it. And he said the kid's name, and the question itself was, what is the greatest movie of all time that had a child star in it? And
You said that it was helmed by a child star.
but he was a co-star in the movie. He was
But
in.
he wasn't the plot point. He wasn't the main character of the story.
I would say that, yeah, he was one of the main characters of the story.
Without that kid, the story doesn't progress. He is the star. Bruce Willis was the bigger name
No, he's all Bruce Willis. I'm going to lose it, but we're just going into this anyway.
because the whole twist of the movie was that Bruce Willis is dead and nobody can see him except the kid. This particular kid.
Yes.
So the kid is essential to the plot. He's one of the stars of the movie.
He's essential to the plot.
No, without making
But
the star.
The story is about Bruce Willis.
Now,
Where the Goonies, the story is about the Goonies.
he also mentioned that it had the one of the greatest twists of all time, which was absolutely true. You like to say that you see everything a mile away, but when I saw this, like, I had to wake up my wife and say, I just saw the greatest twist of all time.
Well,
So I would say that he made a better point for this being a better movie, which was part of the question.
part of the question.
So
The trouble is, I still don't feel it's a kid movie.
no, it doesn't have to be a kid movie. It just has to have a child star in it.
Well, when you word it helmed by a child, I took it as the main point of the movie.
He was a
is
co-star.
Don does
But
not
he's
like
not the point of the movie.
Well, the definition of helmed is lead the movie,
You got to answer.
not about the kids.
You have to ask your questions clearer.
I understood.
Okay.
You just
And if
named-
I understood
you just
it,
named any movie with a kid that you could think of.
and it was great. And it was a winning choice.
Except I said Goonies, you went, oh, yeah, that's about kids.
Now, this isn't about me not wanting you to take the series because you guys are tied 1-1. This is the deciding factor. For the third question, what is the greatest ever raunch comedy?
Porky's.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I'll go Meatballs.
Is that a raunch comedy?
Mhm.
Okay. You have the decision.
I can't believe I didn't say one of them, but I'm going Meatballs.
I would have liked to have said Animal House, but I just didn't.
I would like to have said American Pie.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
How about we continue with the debate?
It's up to Mark, yes.
All right, so I'll give it to you. Go.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Meatballs was actually the original raunch comedy with Bill Murray. I know a lot of people say Where the Buffalo Roam launched his career, but his career didn't take off until he did Meatballs. It's a camp movie. It's all about spaz and all the different characters on the camp. Bill Murray is the camp counselor. Not only is there the raunch scenes in the movie where they're sneaking in to look under the girls' dorms and under the cabins, but it's also a heartwarming story.
Stop. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so the second anybody says Porky's, the first thing you think about is panty raiders and spying through the little peephole and stuff like it is. It's the movie that kids thought was faux pas growing up, and everybody referenced it. It's a sexualized teenage movie without going as far as to be pornography. But it's as close as you can come to it.
Stop. 3, 2, 1.
Porky's didn't have a panty raid scene in the movie. You're thinking of other movies, not Porky's. And no, I also think of, like, when you're talking about people sneaking in and looking in bathrooms and stuff like that, that was started with Meatballs. They started looking at the girls under the cabin into their own private dorms. It was raunchy, it was the first one of its kind, and it still was a good story and a good comedy, not just raunch.
Stop. 3, 2, 1.
So I would argue that Porky's is a lot more, regardless of if Meatballs was good or not. I think through name recognition alone, if you were to tell somebody to think of a raunchy comedy, Porky's is first to mind, and it's first to mind because it's such a classic. And I think that we should probably actually do it as one of our classic movies sometime. Soon.
It had the bathroom scene where they're peeking on the girls in the towels, but there was no panty raid in Porky's 1, 2, or 3.
Okay. I'll trust you because I believe you've probably seen them many times.
Many times. I have them downloaded on the computer.
I'm sure you do.
Okay, so
Do you have Meatballs downloaded on your computer?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
while I do believe that Porky's was probably the earliest preeminent raunch comedy, I believe Don made the better arguments. Just the different facets of the film he said were included, and while you did stress that everybody thinks of Porky's all the time when they think of raunch comedy, I think Don made the better points, and so I guess he wins this particular debate 3-1 or 2-1. 2-1.
Now, the thing you're probably thinking of for the panty raid was Animal House, Revenge of the Nerds.
Revenge of the Nerds, for sure.
Those had the panty raids in it. This one had the bathroom scene in it, and the scene out where Moose and Meat, not Moose, Meat was out there and they staged the meeting with the girl, and they were all supposed to.
In all fairness, it's been a very long time since I've seen
The fact that you guys know so much about this disgusts me, truly. Okay, so let me take a moment to tabulate. Okay. Tabulation complete, and I'll let Don give you the results of the 3-episode debate.
Due to the unclear nature of the questions asked, Paul was the winner of this debate.
Oh.